Okay, welcome and good morning to our e-learning classes in CVM Higher Secondary English Medium School. In the last video, we had talked about the last topic of the unit test 5, which is about to held on 28th of this December. It is the topic Unit 5 Indigo by Louis Fisker. Generally, we had seen about the Gandhiji's approach to the freedom and liberty to remove the slavery. The situation which is nowadays we are seeing at Delhi by the farmers, the peasants, they are poor, doing lots of labors, and yet the government has changed the law, and because of it numerous numbers, countless people have gathered there. Many of them have died of accident, committed suicide because of situation and so much reasons. So we see that the peasants of India are in poor condition even today after getting 77 years of the freedom from the British people, and this topic is showing the light, focusing light on how the peasants' condition were even when they were not free. The India was not free when it was in the British Empire, when the British Empire was ruling over it, and that is the picture. Today we are discussing few of the questions of the topic Indigo. Last video we had talked about indigo. What is indigo? Indigo is a kind of crops from which a blue dye can be obtained, and sharecroppers are not in a good condition as they had to follow the order of the British rulers, the English people. Here the first question that we are seeing here is, why is Rajkumar described as being resolute? Now when the British people, the English ruler had compelled them to put the harvest of 15% as a tenant, and their entire harvest to surrender them to English people. Many of were agreed, but among them some of the people were not agreed, and Rajkumar Shukla was one of the peasant who was not agreed, and he thought that he should meet Gandhi. So he came from the Himalayan Champaran and followed to the ashram at Ahmedabad with Gandhi. He never left Gandhi till he was not agreed to come to Kolkata, and in this way, for the poor peasants, in favor to them, Rajkumar Shukla had taken this opportunity as to make the farmers, peasants redeem over this slavery, or you can say the harvest that they had to surrender, because after the Germany had started synthetic indigo, the English people were in no need of the indigo, so they passed this, and to make the peasant free of this 15%, they decided that they should surrender their entire harvest, and Rajkumar Shukla came out as hero on behalf of the peasants of the Champaran, and that's how he described as a resolute, right? Now the second question is, why do you think the servants thought Gandhi to be another peasant? Now Gandhi, we have seen Gandhi that he is always worried about the poor people of India, and he had taken a decision that till the last person of the country would not get the proper food and education, and till then he would never ever have the upper cloth on his body, and that's why he was always clad with a simple dhoti. And Rajkumar Shukla led Gandhi to one of the prominent lawyer Rajendra Prasad's house. There Rajendra Prasad's servant knew Rajkumar Shukla as a poor peasant, and the very much appearance of the Gandhi was also like a poor peasant. So it was mistaken by the servant of that Rajendra Prasad that this fellow who is in a simple dhoti must be also a poor peasant. And as this thought emerges in his mind, he by mistaken taken Gandhi too as a poor peasant, and that's what the reason that as Rajendra Shukla's companion in the in the dressing of a poor dhoti must be also a peasant, and that's how Gandhi was also supposed to be the another poor peasant in the eyes of the servant of that lawyer. Okay, now coming to the next question of this Indigo, as why Champaran episode a turning point for Gandhi? You know, Gandhi ji is from very much beginning we have seen him as an independent ruler, leader, prominent social worker. He was always worried about the poor people, and particularly when he was given a challenge and somebody ordered him, he would never leave them so easily. So Gandhiji was famous for breaking the laws made by the government, the English government. And here the Champaran incident was also the one such law as he had done in the past, as to break the salt law, and he followed the Dandi Kuch, which made him very popular throughout the world. Here again there is one such incident of breaking the law, and that was to favor the poor peasant. This English people, against English people, he attempted not to allow these English people to be so powerful over the crushed and poor and very disabled, very unconditional ordinary people like the peasant of Champaran. So he attempted to ease the sufferings of the poor people, and in this planning, there are thousands of spontaneous supporters joined this mission with Gandhi, and that had inspired Gandhi, thought for doing something for an ordinary people. He was feeling that in my own country there should be no one, and particularly no British government ruler can order him and forced him to follow these things. And in order to remove this rulership of the British people from his own country, means our India, he decided to follow it, and that incident of Champaran was one of them, like the Dandi Kuch for the breaking law of the salt. And that's what the chapter, the Indigo for the poor peasant and British ruler. I hope you must have followed these questions very easily, and I hope you will prepare it, because this chapter is the unit test syllabus 1, and that's how you have to make a note of it, prepare it, learn it, and as usual you all have written so nicely up till now. I hope the unit test 5 will also be very nice, and marks will be in your pocket so easily. Thank you very much.